So, you're looking at Dhaka's real estate market for 2026 and thinking about the long game. Well, you've come to the right place. We're about to break down a clear, actionable plan for building real, long-term rental income. Let's dive right in. Here's the roadmap for our journey today. First, we'll get a handle on how the market has totally shifted. Then, we'll figure out the best spots to invest and walk through a step-by-step playbook for investors. After that, we'll peek into the future to see what's coming, and finally, we'll wrap it all up with the core philosophy for real, sustainable growth. Okay, first things first. We have to talk about the single biggest change you need to get your head around. The whole investment game in Dhaka has evolved. Seriously, it's not about making a quick buck anymore, it's about building something stable that grows over the long haul. And this quote right here just nails it. The whole buy a property, flip it in 6 months for a crazy profit era. Yeah, that's cooled way down. And you know what? That's actually a good thing. It's creating a much more predictable, more strategic environment for people who are serious about investing. This slide shows you the before and after perfectly. We are leaving behind that chaotic, high uncertainty old way driven by speculation. Now we're in the new way, which is all about acting like a business owner. It's about steady, reliable cash flow and planned, systematic growth. Basically, strategy beats guesswork every single time now. So, with that new mindset, the big question is, where do you actually put your money? This next part isn't about jumping on the latest trend. No, it's about making a smart, strategic choice that matches the right location in Dhaka to your personal financial goals. All right, this chart breaks it down beautifully. Let's start with Bashundhara R. Think of it as a magnet for students and young professionals. This means you've got super high consistent demand and really strong rental income. In fact, our research points to a huge demand for furnished apartments there, which can be a fantastic cash flow positive investment. Then you've got Gulshan. This is where diplomats and execs want to live. Your monthly income might be a little lower, but you get incredible long-term value growth and super reliable tenants. And Uttara, that's your sweet spot, the balanced choice, a great mix of both income and growth, perfect for families and professionals. And that leads us to the big question you've got to ask yourself. What's your goal here? Are you aiming for that strong, steady monthly income you'd get in a place like Bashundhara? Or are you playing the long game, focusing on that appreciation in a stable area like Gulshan? This is where you start building your personal strategy. Okay, so you thought about where you want to invest and why. Now, let's get into the how. This section is really the heart of it all, a clear, step-by-step framework to help you build your rental portfolio the right way. We've boiled the whole process down to these 4 essential steps. It always starts with setting a clear vision. From there, you use smart financing. You verify absolutely everything. And finally, you manage your property like a total pro. Let's dig into what each of those really means. Step 1 is all about getting crystal clear on your goals. I mean, before you even glance at a property listing, you need to know your numbers. What's your target for monthly income? What's your ultimate net worth goal? If you don't define these, it is so easy to get sidetracked by a deal that looks good, but doesn't actually get you any closer to where you want to be. Next up, financing. This is probably one of the most powerful tools you have, so please don't just take the first loan you're offered. You have to look at all your options. Bank loans, financing from the developer, maybe even partnerships. You've got to compare at least 2 or 3 different scenarios. Because trust me, even a tiny little difference in an interest rate can make a massive difference to your bottom line over the years. And now we come to the step where a lot of potentially great investments just completely fall apart. Due diligence. This is absolutely non-negotiable. You have to verify everything: the building's condition, the legal paperwork, the real rental history, and the actual day-to-day running costs. Skipping this step is, hands down, the fastest way to turn a dream investment into a total financial nightmare. And finally, management. Here's the real talk. That rental income only becomes passive when you have rock-solid systems in place. It doesn't matter if you manage it yourself or hire someone, you have to use digital tools to make rent collection, maintenance, and communication smooth and efficient. This is what transforms your property from a stressful second job into a true wealth-building asset. So, you've bought the property, you've got your systems running, great, but how do you make sure it's still a top-tier investment in 2026 and beyond? This part is all about future-proofing your portfolio by getting ahead of the curve. These trends you see here are exactly what's shaping the market's future. Think about it. AI pricing tools make sure you're always charging the perfect market rate. Automated systems slash your operating costs. And things like energy efficiency or smart home features, they are a magnet for higher quality tenants who are willing to pay more. And here's the most important takeaway on this. These features aren't just fancy extras anymore. For the modern renter, they're fast becoming the standard expectation. Any property that doesn't adapt is going to get left behind. Simple as that.
All right, let's pull all of this together. We've looked at the market shift, the key locations, and the investor playbook. Now let's lock in the core philosophy that makes all of this work for real, long-term, sustainable success.
You know, this quote just says it all. Success in the rental market today isn't about some secret trick or getting lucky. It's about discipline. It's about consistently executing on the fundamentals we've talked about over and over and over again.
And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. As you plan your next move, the single most important question you can ask is this: is my strategy just built for today, or is it truly built to last for the next decade of growth?